Sandra here, all the way from beautiful Hawaii. I thought I'd just do a few interviews and podcasts and try it out and see how it goes and just get a bit more insight into paddlers and their lives around the world. And we're about 5 days out from the Molokai crossing, so a little bit of insight into what they do to prepare and a little bit about themselves as well. So my first guest here is the bro from New Zealand, international paddler, Tupuria King, New Zealand champ. Everyone knows him. So welcome, bro. Thank you for coming.
Good, bro. Good to be here.
Yeah. So before we start and talk about Molokai, which is on Sunday, maybe just tell the people how your year's gone, some of the races you've done, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long year, but this year, after New Zealand National Sprint Championships and kind of like some of the New Zealand long distance races finished, in late February I came to Hawaii basically to prepare for not only the solo in May this year, but to ultimately prepare for this race, the Molokai Hoi, with a team called Kalahui Kai. So I had a good opportunity to come over here and join the team, and yeah, so far so good. I mean, the OC1 season was pretty full on here in Hawaii. Although the solo was cancelled, we had some pretty good races leading up to that. Like there was I can't remember the name of the one race here, but then there was state championships. Managed to win the state championships. Nice. Me and Tuarongo won the Kauai relay and Kauai, so it was good. And yeah, no, it's been full on. We had 6-man season. We went over to Catalina with Kalahui Kai. We did Pailolo, so yeah, I think by the time I leave, it's going to be about 157 days, I think I calculated in the US.
Nice,
year, so
nice.
It's a
bit different here in Hawaii. Is a lot of OC1 rather than V1. So to see that transition from you and see those results throughout the year was pretty cool. And also we spent probably 2 or 3 months in Tahiti as well, doing the I-Tour, Super I-Tour for you, and a few other races. So it's been a pretty busy year, especially for this fella. But it's been... and so you're hard out into racing. Obviously, it's not fully professional. You get those teams in Tahiti that do a bit of work and paddle for their business, etc. But for the most part, people have to work and paddle. So some people might not know, but you also have a degree, a master's, and also starting your own business using your brand. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Basically, earlier this year, kind of at the same time that I moved to Hawaii, I started the Train Like a King business, but it wasn't on my own actually. Last year I delivered how it all happened to be was last year I did some clinics in Singapore, and I met some Kiwi paddlers working in Singapore, and one of them, Irene, her name's Irene, she really kind of seen something within me. She's seen the area that, a potential, I guess, for a business to be made, a brand to be made around what I do. So we decided to go in together and create the Train Like a King business early in February, and it's been awesome. It's been pretty awesome to have Irene, who's specializes in business and marketing and all these types of things. If you're working in Singapore, then you're
doing something
right.
In
Singapore, it's all the expats that go there have quite good expertise in that type of stuff. So it's been good to. I've learned a lot from Irene, especially in terms of marketing and brand and logo, and I think it's a good balance having me, the physical side of paddling, um, and her side of business,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's been cool, you know. We've created the Train Like a
Nice.
King logo, merchandise. We sell training programs, and basically I've been doing that for a while, training programs
Yeah,
and
yeah,
coaching clinics. But it's good to actually have something official and actually be set up officially as a business that
yeah, for sure.
reaches worldwide.
And to use I think it's quite smart that you use your name and you turned it into a brand because you've got such a good following from paddling around the world,
Mm,
and it's only going to get bigger
yeah.
um, with the numbers in paddling. So to use your name as the brand as well, and
Hmm.
quite a catchy catchphrase, "Train like a king,"
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, and it seems to be taking off quite a bit,
Yeah.
and it's like the coaching as well helps other paddlers, so you're successfully giving back. I know I've been
Yeah.
to a few coaching clinics with you over the years,
Yes.
and that's always awesome to see what or use your knowledge and see what other people are doing around the world that you learn from as well. Sweet. So it's it's Tuesday today in
Mm.
Hawaii. Molokai crossings on Sunday. Um, so like Tipu said, he's in with quite a special team. They've got, would you say he's your coach, Alan?
Yeah.
So they've got a guy that's awesome fella and financially supports these guys massively. So they've got a house to stay in and they get looked after. And they've brought kind of a mixed hybrid team of some of the best Tahitians, obviously some of the best Kiwis and the best Hawaiians together to paddle this race. So how's training going, bro? And what's your kind of preparation this week?
Preparation. Yeah. Training's been going good. I would say that it's probably been one of the best opportunities I've had
Mm,
in terms of paddling, and like I said, I got here in February, and the training has been pretty pretty tough since February. You know, we've
yeah,
been
yeah.
going pretty hard, putting on a lot of mileage, a lot of intensity, a lot of quality training for months now. So um, this week actually has been one of the first weeks that, well, obviously it's taper week, 1 week to go, so it's all about unloading the volume, resting up, letting the body recover, and yeah, it's training has been that we've been training that hard that it's now that I'm resting, it's it's kind of funny because you don't realize how tired you actually are
Yeah,
until
yeah.
you rest. You know,
The
you
body's
can
just going, going,
yeah
going, and as soon as you
going
stop, you hit a bit
exactly
of a
like we've been getting up every 4:30 a.m. every morning to
yeah.
train in the morning paddling, and then afternoon we're on land training or cardio. So um, it's been pretty good, and we're pretty keen to see how it goes this week after we actually get some rest, get some massages in, and
Yeah, for sure.
eat well, drink well, and yeah, hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. Like for me, before a race, week before, it's just relaxing, but making sure the body's still moving. Um, Normally get a massage and try and drink as much water and eat well, um, carb load or high fats, and make sure the body is feeling good and not sick or anything like that before we head over and do the crossing. I'm just going to cut back to the business stuff. I'm just going to quickly. So Tipu's got the Train Like King, and also over in Hawaii. Not going to go into too much detail, but there's mahi here. Every day we go hard, so we're not just sitting on our bums and doing nothing. We do train in the morning, and then we
Mahi,
we mahi.
just mahi.
Yeah, that's all we're going to say about that.
Mm,
And it's like another training, and then training at night. So it's pretty full on,
hmm.
and we're not, or Tipu's not just living the high life, as you would call it. Bro, so like someone like me this is my first crossing,
Hmm.
what are some things that I could or should expect, or like words of advice?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I think for the Molokai channel, I would say don't expect it to be fun until you get to Oahu, to
Yeah,
Portlock, where we are currently at the
yeah.
moment. And what
Because
I mean by that is,
62 kilometers, if you
mhm,
didn't know. And so Portlock here is probably the last 10 kilometers.
yeah,
Yeah,
last 10, 15 kilometers, yeah. But I would say that the crossing the channel itself, every time that I've actually crossed the channel, it's never like a pure downwind where it's like pure fun and enjoyment, you know.
yeah,
It's all majority of the time it's always going to be hard. The current's going to be strong. The waves are coming from your right across you, so you're never fully sitting there riding waves. It's only until you get to Oahu and the final Hawaii Kai run, which is a famous
yeah,
run here, you actually start enjoying the surf. So I would say, um, you know, just because especially when it gets hard and tough in the canoe in those kind of conditions, I think it's important to know that it's hard for everyone and it's not just the team that's like doing bad. Like know that the channel is a tough channel
yeah,
and that like you got to get through that channel with like positivity and reinforcement of your team, you know, because it's easy to break a team by saying, yeah, come on boys, you got to push harder or whatever. But yeah, I think saving a bit of, not necessarily saving a bit of energy for the Hawaii Kai run, but knowing that once you get to the Hawaii Kai run, you need to be strong and finish
yeah,
strong, because that's where the race actually starts. Because you know you get to Hawaii Kai, whether you're on the inside, you're the outside, or you're in the middle, you're most likely going to have teams there, and then you never know which is going to be the best line,
yeah,
but sometimes it's just about making that work, you know, and who has the most um, heart at the end to
yeah.
serve,
So
catch,
like
bounce,
that
and
last 10K is where the race is kind of won or lost,
yeah,
kind of.
pretty much.
Yeah,
You know, I've been in both situations where I've been on the inside Hawaii Kai run and just pass all the guys on the outside, or on the outside and then the inside guys pass us. So
yeah.
it's yeah, I probably would recommend maybe like going inside, but I don't know. I'm not a
I'll talk
steerer.
to my steerer. So
Yeah.
I think it's favourable tides for us this year as well. The women a few weeks ago had going into the tide, and it was pretty challenging race for them.
Hmm.
So looking forward to that, bro. Um, just lastly, like someone like me, I've had pretty lucky opportunity to come over here and stay with Huinalu and Mario um, and paddle for their club. But for paddlers back home, back in Aotearoa, um, that would like young paddlers that one day would want to paddle Molokai.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, what's some ways that they could kind of set their goals or kind of get around coming to here and doing a race?
I would say, or I guess what I did which first kind of opened up my opportunities was like I just looked locally, you know, and I just I tra- I always had a goal race in mind, and like I would plan my training around that race, and I would just train hard for those races, you know. And once I started doing well in those local races, even this, I just did every race I could really. All the
Yeah,
small races, like I didn't matter whether it was in Hamilton or up north and how big or small the race was. I just wanted to go and race anybody, you know. And as I was doing that in my earlier paddling years, you know, I quickly noticed not only my level getting better, but more opportunities came my way. You know, I remember, I guess after my first, I trained quite hard for one nationals, and I I was still under 23s at the time,
yeah,
but I decided to enter the open men 250 meter, and I managed to win that one. And soon after that race, I was actually asked by Kingy Gilbert to go to Tahiti to paddle in the Tahiti Nui. It was a 6-man race, and I was like, oh, why not? You know, and if it wasn't for that opportunity, I probably would never have gone back into the Te Aito or Super Aito and maybe ended up where I am now. So I guess people see potential in you if you show passion for the sport and what you do. And if they see that you're working hard and that your results are getting good, then the opportunities come. I think just finding a goal and setting that goal and working hard, putting as much time on the water. And I think the most important thing is to just have fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I enjoy competition and racing, and that's as simple as it gets.
Yeah. So like for me, I've met some amazing people along the way, and the way you act and the way you are around them kind of opens up a lot of opportunities. And you know, for example, you and Ash Rosendale, good friend of mine or ours, paddled for the club I'm paddling for now. The last 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, last two years, I think.
And he just told me to hit up the coach and see if I could come over to Hawaii. And long story short, he pretty much said, asked a few people around in New Zealand paddlers about me, and a week later I was on a plane, and I've been here for 2 months, living with his family and paddling. So, you know, things like that you would never really think would happen, but the generosity of paddlers and the community is quite small in a way.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of knows everyone in some way or another. So that's us. Thank you, bro, for having a chat.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll be talking to you for the rest of the week because we're going into war against each other.
I was on the water.
But I'm sure we'll catch up for a few green Powerades after the race.
Yeah. Sounds good, bro.
So I'm probably going to do a few more, talk to some of the Aussie boys and Team Oceania, and just kind of get a little bit of insight into them. So all good. Subscribe, like, whatever that is. And sweet. Thanks for listening. Yeah, click the link below and
follow. Get some TK merchandise.
Yeah, and if you guys are struggling with making a program for Sprint Nats, then hit me up. Hit him up. Just on trainliketheking.com.
Yeah, trainliketheking.com.
Yeah, yes. And it will definitely help you out and make you achieve your goals.
Yes, sir.
Church.
Church.